Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So, we've done a few videos now where I've shown you how to use different lighting kits. I want to show you something that you can do different with the lighting kits, and it's really convenient that the sort of Flysky radios can do this. I'm going to show you on a Noble Pro, but you can do it on everything from the NB4 upwards. So, yeah. The only thing we're going to need on this, you're going to need the enhanced receivers, because they're the only receivers that can do this. So let's bring you in for a close-up look, get tangled up in 1,000,001 wires, but hopefully something at the end of it will make a bit of sense to you guys. So this is one of the lighting kits all set up with a steering servo. So we've got steering, we got as throttle, we got as brake, we've got reverse lights, and we've got turn signals set up on the little levers at the side of the steering wheel. But if you're going to put this into an RC, it's not so bad with this kit because of how it's sort of set up, where if you want to disconnect your lights or take your body shell off, you've only got this to disconnect. So it's just one cable, but you can go a bit further with this. So imagine if you've got like a semi-truck or lorry, depending if you're from UK or America, and say you've got something, a trailer or something separate that you want to power these lights on, or you want the entire body shell to be able to come away without anything at all being disconnected. So for this,
power off receiver first.
we're going to power off.
Down.
We're going to turn off our light kit. We're going to get another receiver. So what we're going to want to do on this is first off unplug everything from our original receiver and from the lighting kit. So our original receiver now, we're going to have steering in channel 1, we're going to have a speed control in channel 2, and we're going to have as auxiliary servo into channel 3. So from this we can power up as transmitter.
Welcome to Noble Pro Plus.
We can power up our speed controller again. And then we've got steering, we've got as channel 3, and we've got as throttle. But we've got no lighting kit. So let's show you what we're going to have to do to get our lighting kit powered up. So we're going to get a second receiver. We're going to plug channel 1 into channel 1, channel 2 into channel 2, channel 3 into channel 3. And then all we're going to need is a power source. Right, so we've got a power source for a second receiver. So as you can see, this whole thing can just be mounted to body with no wires to disconnect. You just take the whole body off, all the lighting kit, its own receiver, and its own power comes off with it. So let's see what we've got to do on the transmitter to make all this work. So first thing we're going to want to do, go into as model, channel number definitions. We've now got 8 channels that we can assign, so even on an NB4 you can do this. So we need to change it to 8 channel. You can use more channels, you can use more channels on either one of the receivers. So if you want to go crazy and you've got the Pro, you could use 2 of the FGR12Bs, where you could have all 18 channels assignable, and also the new ports as well, you can use them. But for this we're going to keep it as sane as possible. So we're going to use 2 4-channel receivers, so we've got it set to 8 channel. We're going to go into RX bind, we're going to go into bind set, we're going to take dual RX mode. So the master, which is this one, we want it to start at steering. The slave, we want it to charge as channel 5. So first off, we're going to put as master into bind mode. Bind master.
Binding successful.
Then
Power off receiver first.
Then we're going to want to bind our slave. So we're going to put this into bind mode. We're going to connect power. Then we're going to go bind slave.
Binding successful.
So now we've got them both bound. Then we need to configure as channels so they kind of make sense and we get as functionality that we get. Because at the minute we've got a steering, we've got throttle, we've got brake and reverse, but we're not getting any of that on the actual light kit. So on this one, I've got channel 4 set up to be our indicators. So we want to go to his mixing menu. Then we want to go to programmable mixers. We want to go into mix 1. We're going to have as master as channel 4. We're going to have as slave. Now you've got to look at the one that you're using for your indicators. So it would be channel 1, which is in channel 5. So if we set channel 5, then you want to turn the mix on. Then we can press it and see if it works. And luckily I'm kind of used to doing this now and I tend to get it right first time. So now we've got our indicators following what the indicators are meant to do, which is nice. You could set this up so it wasn't on the mix for it. You can use them as totally separate channels, freeing channels up on here if you want. It's entirely up to you. So for this, all we'd have had to do is change the actual channel that's on here, but I'm just showing you how to mirror everything across first. So next, we want to mix as throttle. So our input is going to be throttle, then a slave channel. If we look what we've got on channel 2, so that's channel 6. So if we go in here, turn that mix on, because we want it copying as throttle. So now we've got the driving lights coming on when we hit throttle. We've got as brake lights and we've got as reverse lights. So the next thing we'd want to copy across is go into mixers, program mixers, and then we'd want to copy as auxiliary channel 3, and we'd want it slave channel is going to be channel 7. So turn it on, and then when we press that, we've got controller as lighting kit. Now that's just to replicate everything over if you don't want to, which you don't need to on here. So what we can do, we can go to mixers, programming mixers, our indicators we can turn off. Then mix 3 that we've set up for the slave channel we can turn off, and then we're just leaving the throttle. On the auxiliary it would be our next channel, which is what we got, 5, 6, 7. So if we just set 7 to SW1, so I'll take that off, then assign it just to 7, and then we can just control these. So we can just shoot through all the different modes. So yeah, multiple ways of doing it. You can either use mixers to replicate everything on the first receiver, or you can assign the separate channels as you would normally. But it's whichever way suits. If you were wanting to use the standard where you turn and then the turn signals come on, you'd then set up a mix for channel 1 and replicate it. to channel 5, sorry, which is what you've got your steering ones put into, and then it would come on when you turn. For me, I'd rather have indicators where I can turn them on and off whenever I like. And what I find useful is if we go into it, and I think it's that one. So I would tend to set the RC up so when it's over to one side, so left would be my left indicator, channel 5 all the way right would be my right indicator. I'd rather set it up that way because I know which way I'm indicating. Just seems to make sense to me. But basically, this entire lighting kit is completely independent. We've got no wires whatsoever going between the RC body that all this is fastened to, or this lot. You can just use it however you like. Everything will work. And if you really wanted to, you could also connect the BVD adapter that comes with these enhanced receivers, plug it straight into battery and monitor your battery voltage on screen. So you never accidentally flatten your battery all the way down on your lights. But hopefully that gives you something to think about, and it's something a bit interesting and something a little bit different to do. It will be able to do this on every single one of the NB4 type radios. So although this is the NB4 Pro Plus, you can do this exactly the same on the standard NB4. The Pros do have a few other functionality and obviously a lot more channels, so if you wanted to run multiple lighting kits, you'd probably be better off with a Pro Plus because you've got them extra channels. But let's wrap this one up. So there you have it. Just another interesting way of powering a light kit, completely independent of your actual receiver and ESC. Just needs its own power supply. You can use a receiver pack like this, or you could use a much smaller pack. They don't take a lot of power LEDs. But yeah, this KYRC lighting kit, quite an interesting little kit, quite fun to mess around with, and I just thought I'd show you guys other ways and other uses for these dual bind receive and things like that on the NB4 transmitters. But thanks a lot for watching Wtf Rc Cars. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, share to friends and family, and catch you guys again in the next one.